live stream on YouTube.
I think the file is big. वो लोड कर रहे हैं ना, डीलोड कर रहे हैं.
जी.
हाँ सर, लाइव गए सर.
Okay. I am very happy to welcome Dr. Harmeet Singh. He is a IRS officer and his designation was Principal Commissioner, Jaipur. He is a very keen bird and butterfly watcher and also has a farm in Chandigarh. And his hobby is to, get a lot of birds and butterflies apart from his diverse activity. So the eminent speaker will present a very good talk full of snaps for you. So Dr. Harmeet, please show us the presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Saranjit, for this opportunity of getting to talk to so many people about my hobby, about my interests of bird watching and of making an environment which is sustainable for the birds and for us. I have a series of 4 presentations, which I would like to show one by one. First, we'll start with the first presentation, which is what is sustainability. Can we have the first one, please?
Dharmesh, please show the first presentation.
ओके सर, एक मिनट.
Actually, I have been bird watching off and on for last several years, but for last 5-6 years, this hobby has really taken my time, and I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing. And through this hobby, I learned so many things about birds, about butterflies, about nature, about conservation, about preserving the whole environment. And these are small experiments which we are doing on our farm. So the entire exercise of what I went through, I will be sharing with you today. So,
Yes, your PPT is loading.
yes, please.
Yes.
Can we start? Press the play button.
Please start now. Play.
So sustainability, as we understand, is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations. And it has 3 pillars which are intertwined: environment, society, and economy. So I'm presenting 3 stories about sustainability today. Please start the next one, please. Dharmesh ji, please do the second presentation. Please press the play. This is a story about a village called Mote Majra. This is like any other village in Punjab. It is in SCS Nagar, and it has a small village pond. This is where I go for bird watching. And this pond has abundant growth of trapa plant. And if we casually look, we'll see some birds. And in the corner of the pond, there are more birds. But once we go closer, then we find a beautiful range of birds. I'm sharing those. This spot-billed duck, the greater egret, paddy egrets, greater cormorant, pond heron. These are local birds. And then you have the birds flying in from other states, the northern shoveler, then another pond heron in the trapa plants. Common coot flies all the way from Europe in the winters. Knob-billed duck flies from sub-Saharan Africa to this place for wintering, and red-crested pochard comes from the Black Sea. Then we have this local duck, which is mostly resident here, or another shot of the knob-billed duck. And grey lag goose, this comes all the way from Russia for wintering in this pond. Pheasant-tailed jacana, another bird which goes to Rajasthan and Gujarat and then comes back. Eurasian pigeon comes from England and Ireland. And shelduck, Rudi shelduck comes from China and Mongolia. And these are the most beautiful birds, the bar-headed geese. They come all the way from Mongolia. They fly over the Himalayas, over the Himalayan passes. And GPS has been used to record them. They fly over the Himalayan passes. And these birds have a strong sight fidelity. So Mote Majra is extremely important because the birds keep coming back. And Mote Majra, as I realized, as talking to the villagers and visiting there almost for last 5 years, that the villagers gave up the trapa farming to allow the birds to come and nest. If these trapa plants were not there, which is food for the birds, these birds would not come back. And this example of coexistence of man and birds taught me that we can, if these villagers can do, then we can also do something to get the birds to be there, give them an environment, and also enjoy their beauty. So we had a small piece of land where then this story motivated me to do something for the birds and the butterflies. Dharmesh, can we go to the next presentation? I have called this place as a co-live between flowers, birds, and butterflies. We had a small piece of agricultural land. We fenced it and we leveled it. And we started with a small nursery for plantation. The idea was to create an environment which was free of insecticides and pesticides in the middle of the farmland. So we planted chrysanthemums, which were our first easy bloom, and then followed by the bougainvillea. We also planted a large quantity of gladoli, and we had a lovely bloom of gladoli at our farm. And then the birds started to appear. They would sit on the fence and not come in because they were not sure if the land is free of fertilizers or pesticides or whatever. Preeney also would come and sit on the wire. Bill would also come, sit and observe, but they would not land in the farm. Similarly, a kingfisher would also come perch at the pole, but not come into the farm. And then a Siberian stone chat came for the first time and it stayed. Then we had our roses which had planted, they started blooming. Here we see the kiss of fire and the pink and white. And then in April of that year, our first tiger butterflies and then the yellow grass butterflies, they started coming and being there on the plants. This was followed by a pioneer white butterfly and a lot of grass butterflies, small grass butterflies. And we had some plants which flowered and that brought more butterflies. And then birds, they grew confident and they started to play and feed in the farm. This magpie would come and stayed with us for a number of weeks. Every day it would be there. And then when the summers came, we planted zinnia flowers And this was a huge riot, and that brought us new butterflies, painted lady seen here, sailor butterflies. And then we added in the winters massive plantation of Nemesia, almost 1/3 of a farm, and lupin. Lupin, we realized, attracts a lot of butterflies. And we got lime butterflies, which took fancy to these flowers, and pea blue butterfly, which is typical to lupin. And following summer next year, we had Danaid egg. It was salting on the dry land. Yellow immigrant butterflies, again salting in the land, because now they found soil to be healthy. And then we started getting colorful birds as coppersmith, drongos, pied bush chat, and we had a blue throat from Europe visiting and staying with us in the farm. And birds are all on the soil. And shikra, which normally comes from Gujarat, again it would come and look to hunt. Bee eaters from Rajasthan, this place became the regular jaunt. And sparrow, which is a rare bird to see these days, they also nested, played in the bushes. And cabbage butterfly, then they started mating on the plants, and red pireo also laid its eggs on a succulent plants at the farm. And painted lady really proliferated, and we had more than 1,000 butterflies. And then we started getting new and new visitors. Black red start, Indian white eye, which comes from the lower Himalayas, and common leopard, again a butterfly of lower Himalayas, does come here in the winters. And common pireo, and then a not so common yellow old world swallowtail butterfly, and parrots in large numbers to watch our mangoes and Amrapali mangoes growing at our farm. Asian pie starling, this also found our farm as a feeding ground. And then we got a big surprise. European goldfinch from the upper Himalayas. It landed at our farm, as did the gray bush chat from the Himalayas. And dark clouded yellow, which is from China. It doesn't come here normally. And this also spent a few weeks at our farm in March this year. And red wattle lapwing, it has been nesting and laying eggs for almost 2 seasons now. Siberian stone chat, which came first time, has been coming every year for last 4 to 5 years. And we continue to more gerbera grown in the open. And then we grew more experimental tulips we got from Srinagar. We also got some bulbs from Amsterdam, and we grew tulips in the open, not under a cover. And now we are again waiting this year return of our Siberian stone chat anytime now, and the dark crowded yellow, which will come probably in January, end of February. And we wait for them with our farm, which is what it looks like these days, and with more flowers. This is located in village Bahalpur Tapriya in SCS Nagar, Mohali. And concept is for me and my wife, both of us look after and take care of the. Dharmesh, can we have the next presentation? Now, this is what we are doing to make the farm sustainable and to get the butterflies and birds to our farm. First of all, we have made vermicompost pits for our garden waste. This is something very typical, which all organic farms do. So this gives us an organic fertilizer and utilization of our dead leaves and grass, everything we are able to do here. We have planted garlic at strategic locations at the farm to prevent termites. That is, we realized termites were a prevalent species in the farm. And instead of using insecticides, we've used garlic and using the paddy straw to grow the garlic. So it provides fertility as well as helps in utilization. We have also planted black tulsi for prevention of attacks from insects. This again has strong clove-like smell and prevents growth of pests. We had a neighboring farm and they didn't want our view to be spoiled. So we planted bougainvillea on the fence. to cover them, and we also use the wire fence for bottle gourd growth. This has given us tremendous fruit this year. We are using paddy straw for direct potato plantation. This is a new experiment we are doing. And as you see, plants are growing healthy, and this gives them a fertilizer, and we harvest the tubers and leave the plant as such. And this continues to grow, and we continue to have more fruits. We are also having a tuberose plantation along the fence. And here we are using Azobacter culture to help in nitrogen fixation. And then we uproot these bulbs and plant at different areas. So 2 areas get fertilization. We use tea leaves in water as a spray to protect our citrus plantation. This again is a different idea. And we have planted golden unipress on the side which faces the road. This is giving us a cover from the road traffic and dust, and also providing a nesting site for silver bills and scaly munia, which has been nesting for last 4 years at the farm. Every year it comes and nests. We had a lot of trouble with the Cyprus rotundus grass, colloquially called Dila grass, and everyone suggested use Roundup, which is a very toxic insecticide, weedicide, and we said no, we'll do something else. So we planted Calcutta #1 grass on all bare areas. Wherever it was possible, we just planted Calcutta #1. It has a very tight root system, and this requires very little maintenance and prevents weed growth. And as you see now, the land is almost clean. But we did leave some areas where we had these tiny flowers for the grass butterflies to come and nectar. In between these areas, we have the flower beds that helps in aesthetics as well as nectaring of the butterflies. This is again something unique we've done. We piled all the garden waste on, we had this small patch outside the farm, and there we have piled our garden waste. So these dead branches are used as nesting by small birds as Perinia and robins, and they also, the dead decaying matter provides food for the butterflies. Butterflies proliferate here because 45% of the butterflies don't go to flowers for nectaring. They use a cow dung, dead organic wood, other dead substances for their sustenance. So this farm has zero use of weedicides, chemical fertilizer, and pesticides for last 5 years. This was a brief idea about what we are doing at the farm and how we are trying to make it sustainable. That is the end of the presentation. Any questions, please? I can't hear you, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harmeet Singh Ji.
Thank you, sir.
It was an excellent presentation, and the PPTs were so vivid, and I really enjoyed the presentation very much.
Lay persons, because going with you people who are writing academic papers, I thought let me do something which is just visual. And
yeah, it's very nice, sir, and it is a very hard work that you are doing with your Mrs. Rachna, and I really congratulate you for the excellent photographs of butterflies and birds.
Thank you.
I think you have a very good camera to capture the butterflies and the birds.
That's so kind of you.
Now, I want to ask you one thing. Some birds come, see, and go away. Yes. Why do you think they go away?
I think there are two kinds. One is that we have migrants. So
Okay.
there are two kinds of migrants. One which come for wintering or for summer, both ways.
Yes. Yes.
So from Himalayas, birds come down to our area for wintering. They don't breed here. They just stay for a few days and then
Yes.
they move to a new site. So we
Right.
see them for a few days and then they move away. The second are the winter migratory birds which come from the Europe and other areas, which are basically around the lakes and the water shed areas.
Right.
They winter for long. They at times lay eggs and they breed, and when the young ones grow up, then they fly back. So both kinds we get. And then the birds which come in summers, like the bee eaters, they don't have food there and they come, stay for a few months and then they go back. So this continuous flotation of population of birds keeps on happening.
Right. Right. Your presentation was very scientific because you have used bacteria
Ji,
for nitrogen fixation.
ji, ji.
So you are actually doing microbiology
Yeah,
in
I
the soil. You're in the soil.
all microbiologists there. I think this we learned when we were in class 11, 12. We were studying
Yes.
nitrogen fixation. So we
I'm
learned-
very impressed by the use of bacteria by you in
Yes.
nitrogen fixation.
Yes.
And you also choose the right flower for the butterflies. You know?
Yeah, butterflies are specific to a flower.
Yeah.
When I visit butterfly parks, I was very curious to know how a butterfly park is sustained.
Yes.
And then I learned that each butterfly has two plants. One is the plant where the eggs are laid, and second is the plant where the butterfly nectars. So these two plants are specific to each butterfly.
Right.
And once you have those plants, then you get a likelihood of those butterflies coming in. So that is
And
how it sustains.
they are very colorful butterflies. You know, some
Yeah.
are yellow, some are black with white patches,
Right.
and some are different colors, multicolored.
Right.
They're beautiful, really beautiful.
Thank you so much. So that is what I enjoy photographing them. A pleasure
Yes.
to watch them.
How does this gel with your diverse interests? You have got so many interests.
I think this innate beauty of nature resides somewhere within us. So once you start exploring, then these are the different vistas, the flowers, the plants, the birds, the butterfly, the sunset, the greenery, the blue sky. I think it's the whole gamut, the whole spectrum, which comes together once you're doing this.
Yes.
So I'm a painter also, so that I think I'm fond of color. So all this color helps me in my painting also. And it's one whole. I mean, you see the entire universe as one whole. So the entire thing is one only. We are seeing different facets at different times.
That's right. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, what is the way forward? How can other people do these activities?
I think we all enjoy flowers. A lot of us, we have lovely house gardens. We like to, morning when you get up, you like to see the sunrise and breeze of fresh air through your window and maybe some bird chirping. So we can do is adding a few seeds at a spot and keeping some water so the birds will come. And if we have flowers, then the butterflies will come and the ecosystem develops. And then avoiding use of insecticides and pesticides to grow even our garden plants or plants in the pots. Just give them a shower of water and these pests and they get drained off and you don't need to do anything. Using your tea leaves, put them in water. And that raw tea you can pour, use as insecticide or remove the pest. Small things people can do at their homes.
That's right.
That is what I want to share.
It was a very interesting talk. And when I called you, you readily agreed to
It
give
was a
this great talk.
pleasure to be and to interact and share this with so many people. It's been my pleasure.
And really, we enjoyed the talk very much.
Thank you.
So I would like to thank you very much for giving us this talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's been
Thank you,
honor.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Right. Sir.